Do we want to take a break so I'm not sitting on camera? Hello, can you all hear me now? Please? Give me a thumbs up. Oh, dang it. I'm going to tell you right now, folks. Snowy Tuesday morning. Good morning to each and every one of you. Sorry that you didn't have audio. I think that might have been my best intro ever in my career. I needed an Emmy for that. Let me see if I can restack and do it all over again. Good morning. Welcome to the Real Monica Adams Show. I am your host, Monica Adams. We are at Adventure Unknown. We are going to be debuting our studios very soon. I'm hoping the first week of March. Can't wait for that ribbon cutting and for you to be a part of it. What I've said was, I hope you do not have to go out. You can stay warm, sit by the fireplace, enjoy some extra time, give some extra loves to your kiddos as well as your puppy dogs who are giving you an eye like this, like, why are you still here? You're supposed to be out the door. Feed me and leave because I want to sleep is what the dogs are saying. We headed out. We are safe. Now, here's what I want to say. The roads are in okay condition. I don't think they're super, super bad, but as the snow is coming down more, and it will, we're going to give you the forecast in just a second. Ideally, you get anything you have to do. You run out to the store if you haven't already. Maybe you go get the shovels and the salt. However, as Beckett told us yesterday, the salt does not work beyond below 15 degrees. So that's actually what the problem might be this morning. Let's go ahead and go into the forecast, give you a few little news you can use, and then we're going to get into our Italian show of the day, Viviano's and Chef Mel's sauces. That's what we're going to be featuring. You're looking right now at the forecast, and all you have to do is look out the door, and you will see that it is snowing, light snow, and more to come into the afternoon, evening, and actually into tomorrow morning. So we're talking about rush hour this morning, rush hour this afternoon, rush hour tomorrow morning, creating problems for you. So from the weather standpoint, we're only talking 15 for a high. That's one of the biggest problems. And then it's those lows. Look at how the single digits, some forecasters were even saying -0. Hopefully that's going to stay up for you a bit. But we're talking about winter weather watches and warnings depending on where you live. 15, 17, 18, 27 degrees. But then look what happens. It's almost like we go to Florida. We're going to be in the 50s and even 60s as we go into next week and into the weekend. So let's look ahead to that and keep you as safe as possible. So as I mentioned, big story is all of the street departments and MoDOT and IDOT doing everything they can to get the roads ready for you. They are warning, though, those lower temperatures are going to hamper some of the slow response ahead of the incoming snow. If you do not have to go out, they are asking you to stay home. Or as I mentioned, like we did, we are doing the show, and I'm going to make sure that my team heads right back home and is safe. Do not, I don't know if you heard this or not, drive faster than conditions will allow, like the Jeep that drove by me at 80 miles per hour. Trust me, I was doing 50 and he just flew by. That's what causes all those accidents. I am hearing about some slide offs. There was even a closure, I think, around 270 and 203 this morning. Some issues in Hazelwood. That was early on. That was about an hour and a half ago when I got here, so they could be even worse. The conditions, by the way, windy conditions and snow even created a problem from a national news story. Have you heard about this? This is a Delta Airlines flight that ended up, that plane, upside down. That's what you're seeing on the screen right now. This was actually in Toronto. Now, here's the good news I want to give you. All on board did survive. 18 people were injured. This is a Delta flight that was attempting to land at Toronto Pearson Airport. And I do have a look at the airport and the flight plan. Amid some strong winds and drifting snow, it crashed. And as you saw in the earlier slide, it flipped over on the tarmac. This happened yesterday afternoon, finally coming to a rest with its belly up and with at least one wing shorn off. Again, despite the crash, all 80 people aboard Flight 4819 from Minneapolis were evacuated. 18, though, were injured. Okay, let's talk about some sports news, because that was really the big story. Everything else that I saw, all it's going to do is damage your spirit, and that's not what I'm all about. I did want to let you know about that one because people have been talking about it. From a sports standpoint, I was talking with Mark Abel yesterday from St. Louis City SC. That's one of my contacts that I used to work with in the news business, and they are really excited and getting ready for the opener. It's this weekend. I went to a game for my birthday a couple of years ago, and it snowed while we were watching the game inside of the park. It was the craziest thing, but I'll tell you what, it was the most fun that I've ever had. And I now understand those cheeseheads that go to the football games, right? Green Bay fans, I have mad props for you because that's exactly what we did. We all bundled together. I had multiple layers on. I had all the hand warmers and feet warmers and body warmers I could possibly wear. Diehards will be there, even if it's still cold. They did debut the new kit, by the way, and finally it looks red. I'm just going to tell you, folks, it reminded me of more hot pink in the past, but it is red now, and that's the new kit that you can purchase. City will be playing against Colorado. Game time 7:30 at Energizer Park. That's coming up again for you on Saturday. We had hockey, and we also will have hockey this weekend. Have you been watching Team USA? Unfortunately, they did lose last night to Sweden. The final score was 2-1. Team USA, though, advancing to the championship game in the Four Nations face-off, and they will be playing Canada. Now, did you see the game the other day when they played against Canada and the Canadians booed? They booed when the national anthem was sung. That's not a good thing. Come on, show some respect for both sides, but it'll be an interesting game coming up on Thursday. And then our St. Louis Blues, I have not had a chance to go to a game in I don't even know how many years, which is crazy because I used to go to every one of them. The Blues are in action for you this coming Saturday night, and they will be playing against the Jets. Go Blues! And then also we've got some basketball news for you. I had to bring this one up because, you know, my husband went to Auburn. So we're talking Tiger, and we're looking at the Mizzou Tigers. Auburn's win at Alabama assured the Tigers, our Tigers, Mizzou, would keep the number one ranking in the Associated Press top 25 men's college basketball poll for a sixth consecutive week. The Tigers received 59 of 60 first place votes in Monday's poll, reclaiming nearly all the support lost when they fell at home to Florida on February 8th. So Auburn had been the unanimous number one for 3 straight weeks before that loss, but remained at the top last week, despite seeing nearly half of those first place votes go primarily to Alabama, with a few to Florida and Tennessee. But the Tigers won Saturday in a 1-2 road matchup against the rival Crimson Tide. How about that? Again, Tigers all across the board. There you go. So getting you up to date on some weather. Again, that's the biggest story of the day. So as you're watching the show today, just remember, if you do have to run out and run an errand, give yourself plenty of time. Give the plows enough room. That's the biggest thing that, you know, when I did traffic for so many years, we would say, day after day, year after year, about how many people would go and run into the back of those attenuators. They would run into the back of the plows. They're trying to do all of their work, and they're going to be struggling because of just how bitterly cold the temperatures are. Do us a favor and check on the elderly. Also, please bring those animals in. I don't know why they'd have to be outside in something like this, but if they absolutely positively have to be outside, make sure that they have water, and you're going to have to keep checking on it because, again, it's going to freeze up in the conditions that we have. And then take care of your home as well. Remember what we told you, that slow trickle of water. Open up the cabinet doors. And, you know, our utility companies are a little worried as well about the possibility of power outage. So there's a lot that we're going to be talking about in news over the next several days affecting Missouri, Illinois, and of course our surrounding neighbors throughout the United States, because we're all dealing with this and we're all in it together. Let's take a break. And when we come back, let's enjoy some good food. Let's talk about history of Viviano's restaurant and Chef Mel's sauces. And as you saw in the title, it talked about what will it take you to make a leap and follow your passion and maybe have that entrepreneurial spirit that we always talk about. We're going to have fun today, but I hope we also inspire you to go ahead and do it. If it's a side hustle right now, maybe it becomes the lead, or maybe you do them both at the same time because you think, okay, business-wise and family-wise, I've got to do this on the side and do this, and I'm hustling. Yes, we know you are determined, and I can guarantee you that these two people that are going to sit in these blue chairs will inspire you. We're going to do that when we return.
Hey guys, I just want to tell you, being on the Monica Adams show it's just been a delight. It's been a joy. What she's doing for the community is amazing. I'm so proud to be sitting in this blue chair, being honored and honoring the people for the showcase that I'm doing for the Neiman Marcus Black Creatives in the Lou Black History Month Showcase. I want to end this segment with a poem that I wrote. I grew up on the north side. That's where it all started. Dreams, goals, and aspirations grew within me, and they never departed. You see, my environment was jaded, but that never fazed me, because what my parents instilled in me made my dreams go crazy. Mama was my cheerleader, and Papa gave me the tools. Everything could be yours, they would say. Just make sure you follow these rules. Work hard, don't look back, and keep your mind set on stable. And if you can't find yourself somewhere to sit, create your own table. Thank you, Monica, for creating this table. Take care. Be blessed.
Are you looking for your own little slice of Italy? Then look no further than Viviano's. For over 20 years, Viviano's has been bringing you delicious Italian cuisine and more for dine-in or for you to enjoy at home. With local ingredients you can see on our shelves, it's no wonder you can taste freshness in our meals. Visit us today or go to vivianoscafe.com.
Oh, mangia bene. Is that how you say it? Well, we'll find out from the true Italians in just a second. Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. And I just saw somebody's comment. Diane said, I love Viviano's. Just made the best lasagna with Michael Viviano pasta sauce. Fenton is so lucky to have you in our community. Well, good morning to all of you. And feel free to drop any comments of any experiences that you have had at their Fenton location or maybe down in Chesterfield. Have you had Chef Mel's sauces? Have you seen them in the store and went, oh, this looks interesting. Did you buy it? Well, now buy it. We talk about supporting those that support us. So this is going to be a fun show. We're going to go back in history and talk about their families and then what led them to this and what do they have planned for the future as well. Let me introduce my guest, Chef Mel with Chef Mel Sauces. I'm not going to butcher your name. So how do you say Melissa what?
Maugeri.
Maugeri, I would have been right. And then we have Michael Viviano. How are you, my friend?
Good. Thank you very much. Good to see you guys.
Absolutely. So how were the roads for you coming in?
Not bad at all. I'm like
about
8
what you
minutes
said.
away.
Yeah, not too bad. Little slick on the turns, but
What kind of cars do you have, though? That's another thing.
I have an SUV.
I do too,
Front-wheel
but
drive.
we give a false sense
You
of,
do.
oh, vroom.
Yeah, you have to really still be very safe.
Yes, and you
I
would.
get the store van, and there's no weight in the back of that thing. Thank goodness I'm only 8 minutes away.
Yes.
It's fine. It's a lot of flat right here, so it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, for all of you, though, that have those trucks and SUVs, and you just think, and that Jeep, if you would have told me you drove a Jeep, I would have said, was it you? Someone just came flying by me. I'm like, what? That is the problem. So
That's
yes,
crazy.
It's snowy. So here's what we suggest that you do. We say that you just sit at your home, in the warmth of your home and relax and just enjoy the beauty of good food and good friends and good family, because that's what we're going to talk about today. So both of you, again, thanks for coming in studio. I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
All right,
Absolutely.
so let's talk about the history of it all. From a family standpoint, yours is really steep in the tradition of the restaurant industry. You go back how many years?
A lot of years. I mean, our family from working on the hill at the market and doing wholesale for so many restaurants in St. Louis. Gosh, you got an hour and a bottle of wine. We can get going here.
Right? We're talking 20s, 30s, aren't we?
Yeah. In the 20s. My grandfather coming over and working at Viviano Macaroni Factory.
Right.
That was here from the turn of the century, and they were around until 1956. And Shelley Winters was the spokesperson for them. Beautiful young actress at that time, and she was amazing. My grandfather decided to say, "Hey, I'm going to go try my own thing," and opened up his own little market. They had a little grocery down there, and he moved around a few times and landed on the hill, of course. And after that was history.
How did you get Shelley Winters to be a spokesperson?
That was them. Yeah, I mean, that was way back when they were able
cool
to say
is that?
they made him a deal. Made her a deal that she couldn't refuse. Of course, I guess. Yeah. We'll give you a free case of pasta.
I was just going to say it had to do with food and wine. I guarantee that.
So
okay, we'll come back. We're going to bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
And then, Chef Mel, what about you? Because we talked on the phone about your dream and how it all began. And that's really a lot of times what people want to hear is, well, wait a minute, I've got a dream, but a lot of times it gets squashed or other others around you don't lift you up to make you say, okay, I can do this. So let's go all the way back for you and your passion. How did this all begin for you?
Well, when I was younger, I mean, I have memories as early as 5 years old thinking I wanted to grow up and have my own restaurant, and I was going to have the best spaghetti meatballs and grilled cheese sandwiches. That's what was in my kid mind, you know. But then I grew up, I went to school, I went to college, I did all the things, you know, you're supposed to do and earn a living and be an adult, on and on and on. So I was working in physical therapy, had my first daughter, so I think she was about 2. And I started playing around with different pasta sauces because I wanted to have spaghetti meatballs. But there was something about the sauces that I didn't care for as much. Like I kept buying stuff and buying different sauces and trying to doctor them up at home. And there was just something about it. What I found out later was I wasn't a big fan of oregano.
Right.
And there's oregano in pretty much, I'd say 90% of the sauces at that time, maybe a little bit less now. And so I went to my grandmother, my nana, the true Italian, the full-blooded Sicilian. How do you make yours? So I can get some ideas. And then when I mentioned oregano, she just kind of went, ew. And I thought,
Aspetta, un momento.
Yes,
No.
exactly, yeah.
No,
So I thought, okay.
they break out the wooden spoon. That's what happens.
I am a survivor of the wooden spoon.
No oregano.
We got stories about that too.
Oh yeah. So I wanted to simplify it. Went home and played around with it and made a recipe of my own, and with inspiration from my grandmother, of course. And I liked it sweet, so I thought I'll add a little bit of sugar, but let me put some red wine in there because I was drinking a glass. I thought, here, take the bottle.
Oh, it's just like this.
Yeah.
A little bit for Mel,
Yeah.
a little bit for food,
Right.
a little bit for Mel. Is
And
that
if
how
it's
it
good
works?
enough to go in the sauce, it's got to be able to drink. It's got to be both, right?
Exactly.
It's got to happen.
And,
What is it about the oregano that you and your grandma didn't like? What
just
stands
don't like
out
the
for you?
flavor.
Because a lot of
It's-
people will say that with regards to like cilantro.
Yes.
You got to love it or you don't. But
I
oregano,
feel the same way about oregano.
Oh,
For
okay.
me,
Yeah.
oregano was for pizza, basil, basilico, Italian basil for
I agree with you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And for me, I don't really want the oregano on pizza either.
Oh,
But
forget
I
about
mean,
it.
I can take a little bit of it.
Forget about it.
Yeah. Well, and I think sometimes people just think, oh, it's the big Italian spice, so they throw a bunch in,
Right.
and it can be overpowering, like cilantro, rosemary, some of those strong spices. So I took it to work, and because I forgot to make something for the potluck. As I was playing around in the kitchen, I thought, oh, well, I'll just bring this. And I did. And that's how the whole story
how it all
starts.
began.
Yep.
But I think it's so powerful that she knew something at a very early age. We're talking 5 years old. Was it your grandma that you think was such a connection to you that you were like, I look up to her and I want this? Or who was the role model that really put that in your mind back at 5 years old?
That's a good question. I would like to say, sure, my grandmother inspired me. And I mean, we all say that we're a bunch of foodies, it's all about the food, right? Yep. We're Italian, we're Irish. We like to eat and drink. We know how to
and
have
talk
a good
with
time.
the hands.
Yes.
Oh, you gotta have the hands going.
I'm almost sitting on my hands right now, so I don't do that.
It's not right without talking with the hands. You got to be able to express yourself. Express.
Yes, express, right. I just was always an entrepreneur at heart. My best friend and I used to go and dig out the golf balls at the golf course and then shine them up and go back and sell them to the golfers the next day.
Look at you.
Yeah. So that was at 8 years old.
Wow.
So we were always like lemonade stands. We were those kids.
Would you be
know?
the one that would be shoveling the snow right now and making money?
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah, we worked
I
hard.
would shovel
didn't
the
we?
snow. I would cut the grass. I would do all. And nowadays, I would walk your dogs and scoop the poop. Whatever.
Again, that's that drive and determination.
Yeah.
Yes, we would be out right now and being like, oh, and I'll tell you what, back then, I mean, yes, we're talking snow today, but back then we had a lot more snow, like on a
Yes.
regular basis,
Yes.
and a lot of inches of snow.
Yeah.
Here we are, little kids trying to like break our backs, trying to get rid of the snow. And what
Yep.
do we get? $10.
Yeah, in fact, maybe
if
5.
that, yeah.
If you're just tuning in again, Michael Viviano, Chef Mel. We're talking
Yes.
about Viviano's and Chef Mel's sauces, and we're talking about history. Again, the lead up. I want to thank you for sending over, as well as your entire family, for sending over all these old pictures.
I'm sure.
Oh my gosh, no, it was so fun to
My son will
look
kill
back.
me if he finds out about this.
Let's look back at the beginning, and what does this mean to you? Because there's a couple things here, right? We talked about the love of family, and it's all about going through these things together. And what would you do if you didn't have your family and your friends lifting you up, right?
Absolutely.
So I saw some ribbon cutting pictures. So how many years ago was the ribbon cutting?
21 years ago.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
we've been there 21 years in Fenton Plaza. And it was wonderful. It was a community thing. A lot of family and friends coming in, helping us stock shelves. The kids coming in from my son's grade school. And it was just, an amazing time. It still is an amazing time. It's just a continuation of the journey.
And your original location, again in Fenton Plaza, was there. How long ago did you open the new location?
We'll be there 3 years come May
Is it
25th.
three already?
It'll be three
Wow.
already in that
They
spot.
just moved down the plaza, by the way, and it's bigger and beautiful.
All these expanded and gave us an opportunity to take a space, and we did that. I'm like, but as I get older, I thought it was supposed to take less and have a little less to work with here.
Nope.
Good Lord's got a funny sense of humor, and he goes, "No, I'm going to give you a little more, Miguel." Okay, I'll do it.
You're not downsizing, you're upsizing.
Yeah. So thank God.
I had some people the other day when we were talking about doing, and let's go ahead and say this, we are going to have our 500th celebration the first week of March, and a bunch of mobile Monicas. We are going to be with Viviano's and Chef Mel on Thursday. This will be March 6th from 4 to 5:30 p.m. And that's where we get to really show off and have fun and have you come in and enjoy their incredible food and their incredible sauces. So we go back 21 years when you first opened, had that ribbon cutting, and everyone's like, oh, okay, so what do I try? I'm sure they still ask you that to this day. What was on the menu 21 years ago that's never left the menu?
Okay, so we were sandwich, salad, pasta, pizza program. We were a sandwich shop, delicatessen cafe. We had music, and it was just a real casual get together. And of course, it was sandwiches were there. The hot roast beef sandwich, the Festa Italiano, #1 seller, Viviano special, right in there. Same. I don't know which one sold more. I think we put billions and billions sold here. We thought, but somebody else took that, so I couldn't do that one. But no pasta, of course, all the little sauces, and then we started pizza and adding a few things and enchilada, a lot of pastas, olive salad, and the delicatessens, olive salad and salami and fontanella cheese and the breads and cannolis, of course, cannolis by the millions. It seems like thankful for the Taste of the Hill brought out to the Fenton area with breads and all those goodies. So, I mean, gosh, it's just been a growing experience, keep adding to the experience.
Well, and
Really
a lot
thankful.
of collaborations. You just mentioned bread, but how did the collaboration happen between the two of you?
Gosh, years ago, I think. Was it at the store on the hill?
No, I think it was so I'm in my 17th year.
Okay.
So I had to think about that for a minute. Like,
Yeah.
has it really been that long?
17.
And so back in the day when I was out peddling my wares, because I went to some of the bigger stores and that's a whole nother story.
It's
hard.
That's Italian round two.
Yeah, right. So I went around to little stores. Like I went to the stores like, Viviano's and Urzi's and Di Gregorio's on the hill and
Sure.
got to get that Italian seal of
Well,
approval,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And then I realized, well, wait, there's Viviano's. I know there's this Viviano's in Fenton. I didn't even know about the one in Chesterfield at the time.
Okay.
But then I found out. I came in and I just started talking to Michael. We just hit it off like instantaneously.
Paisan.
Yeah,
That's it.
every
In the
time I
same
walk
family, in the
in,
same
every time I
neighborhood
walk
right
into
there.
the store now, I say Paisan. He
That's
says
right.
Paisan. So I mean, we just had like this instant friendship, and he welcomed me to come in and do some demos and do with my sauce. So I had the original sauce. That's the sweet
That's
Sicilian.
the sweet Sicilian.
Yeah. So
Delicious.
I did that. Thank you.
Delicious.
So that's been around for, the whole time, 17 years. Wow. And we introduced a spicy version and a
That's the one did you bring that today?
Spicy.
No, I did not.
Mel,
I'll
you
bet
are
you
going to
some.
have it there on March
I
6th.
will have it. Yeah. It
Because
will be
I
there on
love
March 6th.
spice.
Yep.
We were just showing you, by the way, the sweet Sicilian, which again is the first iteration 17 years ago. And then the spicy, was that the next one that came out?
Yeah, well, that just came out last year.
Last year.
The spicy
But you have
and the 3
4 now?
cheese. Well, I have the spicy, the 3 cheese, and we are about to launch the vodka sauce.
Yes, and that's what I'm looking for. I
Yeah.
love a vodka sauce.
Yeah.
And then can we say what you have planned for next year? You told me on the phone something that you're expecting to come. It goes with chips.
Oh, yeah. So honestly, when I
Let's
started,
just manifest and put it out there.
When I started this business 17 years ago, I actually, which is kind of the irony, I actually started production with the salsa.
Oh, you did?
So, yeah. So people that know me, people that have known me this whole time, and a lot of them have been begging me to bring the salsa back. It's too long of a story to go into, but we will be bringing the salsa back.
2 hours and 2 bottles of wine.
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
You're looking at maybe 26?
Yes, that's the plan, is in 26. And
there we go.
It's a sweet. It's kind of, that's my trademark, is sweet, because I'm so sweet, right?
Dolce,
Dolce, yeah. So
Sweet.
it is sweet and spicy.
Oh, that sounds
and
perfect.
it's just something different, and
That's
it's just
balance.
very good. Yes, it's good balance.
Right. So are you hungry? I told you that you were going to have your salivatory glands going nuts this morning. You're going to be like, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I already want Italian food. And what the heck? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Open up a bottle of wine. You're
That's
at
right.
home. You're not going to be driving. Do it.
Right.
That's right.
Again, Viviano's, and Mel just mentioned it, that they have one in Fenton as well as Chesterfield. When did Chesterfield open?
It was 4 years later, so we've been out there, 17?
Wow.
Yeah, almost
same with me.
18 years coming out. Yeah, up there.
And you can
So,
place orders online, pick them up, but you also have, how big is your catering business?
Catering's pretty huge, and then we have banquet rooms available now in Fenton. So we have availability for 75 in one room, 30 in the other. People sometimes use both and put the kids in the smaller room with an adult over this way. And the
adults love that.
And then they want to the bar and so forth. But it's just casual. It's real simple. And, my house is your house is the old
That's
saying.
what I love.
And we're
That's
just
so
thankful.
true.
Just sit back and relax and enjoy.
Okay, we're gonna be looking at some other pictures. I also saw a video that was sent over, and I was like, "Wait, where did I miss this?" I saw dancing that was taking place and bands that were taking place. So we're going to show a little bit of that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, and we're going to talk more about Viviano's and Chef Mel's sauces. So don't you go anywhere.
This lady got me in the best shape of my life. I literally didn't know that I could be in shape like that. But the amount that she pours into her clients, and especially whenever you get the one-on-one training, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it was really life-changing. I learned so much about proper form, about nutrition, about just being able to invest in myself. I hired Monica to be my personal trainer, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Simply Sauce with Chef Mel. So today we're going to do a pasta dish. It's called shrimp fra diavolo. So this one's a little spicy. And we're also going to complement that with a prosciutto wrapped asparagus. So we'll do a little multitasking. All right. So we'll start out with some red wine that I'm drinking and cooking with.
And welcome back. If you're just tuned in, it's the Real Monica Adams Show, and I am your host, Monica Adams. We're talking about, as you just saw, having fun, music playing here in the background. That means it's time to dance, Michael Viviano. What was that all about? How did I miss that dancing?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm just like, there was dancing at the...
Did it just break out at your Fenton store?
No, we had a party night
Okay.
there. Some of the Sicilian Club came out and some other friends. And we did music on the weekends, did karaoke and things like that. But this was the Sicilian Club, and they would get up and dance and have a good time. I'm like, oh my God, they're taking over the whole restaurant.
Well, I laughed, though, because
it was so amazing.
here's the deal. There are some people dancing, and then there's other people just sitting there like,
Yeah, yeah.
What are you doing? We're eating.
Their knees messed up. I don't know. Their hips, they just had hip replacement. They were in the kitchen 20 hours. I don't know, like Chef Mel.
Yeah.
So again, if you are just tuning in, we're having a lot of fun today while you're sitting at home and enjoying, and I want you to stay there. Just enjoy your time at home and enjoy the history of Viviano's and Chef Mel's sauces. So we also had a little clip. You were on the TV show Eat
This TV.
Eat This TV. Yeah, I was scrolling through and there's a lot of really cool chefs, but you've got several episodes.
Yeah, we did a whole season. We did 12 episodes, and the show is called Simply Sauced with Chef Mel, which you could kind of double meaning,
Yes.
drinking that wine while you're
absolutely. She
cooking,
said, she, there it is. Eat This TV. So the one we were just showing, I think, was Shrimp Diavolo.
Mm-hmm. That would be your spicy sauce.
I know, and that stood out to me. I'm like, I need to have her teach me that recipe.
Yeah.
So how fun was that to do that TV show?
Oh, it was fun. They're actually calling me at least monthly. They want me to
do it again.
Oh yeah, they want me.
Did you
back.
film those at your house?
No, that was up in New York.
Because
New York City.
in New York,
Mm-hmm.
because I know you said we were talking about maybe doing a show at her house, and she's like, we can come here, come on in, and here's my kitchen.
That's kind of what we're working on. I did dabble a little bit in that, and there's one of the videos is posted on YouTube. It's as you know, there's a lot with the filming and the editing and everything else.
Yep.
So one of the things we're trying to do is to bring that production company here from New York City and actually film a season here in my kitchen where I could have special guests and such. But we're just working on, the logistics and the sponsorships and
there she is with the wine, always with the wine now. With the wine.
That's a well-trained Italiano right there.
Exactly. So if you haven't seen these, again, I'd highly recommend that you go and check that out. Well, actually, be sure to follow both of our friends here on social media. What's your biggest social media platform? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram.
Both.
I'm on TikTok as well.
Okay.
I have my own YouTube page. My handle is at Chef Mel STL on everything.
Yep, there you go. And it's up on the screen for you to make. And on chefmelsauces.com, you can go to the website and you can see all of those episodes.
And recipes.
Yeah, and recipes. So, you can see if you can try to do what she does. Probably not to the level of what she does, but at least you've got the recipes to try it out. Because that's really what it's about, right? Try. I mentioned earlier to Michael that we wouldn't, any of us, be able to do what we do without support. You want to talk about the same for you over the last 17 years?
Wow, where do I start? I mean, man, I have to give props to a very special person that helped me start my business. Mm-hmm. From the financial aspect of it, she mentored me. Oh man, I try not to. She just, her name was Kathy.
Sweet.
And she just left us a couple weeks ago.
Oh my gosh!
And she was an amazing, amazing person. And I feel like if everybody had one of those people in their lives, she just made such a difference. So she taught me a lot about just running a business and about what you can do or can't do. And she was an accountant too. So I would say things like, well, can I write this off? She's like, how do you look in orange? I'm like, okay, point taken. I get it. Right. And I just loved her dearly. I really did. So she was very, very instrumental in helping me launch. And then, gosh, there's just so many people along the way.
So what you would say is you're blessed.
I'm very blessed. Right. I mean, from my family, my sister helped me a lot in the beginning. She was instrumental. Julie was like right there with me doing demos all over the place. She actually met her husband because she was actually was at Viviano's. No. And I ran out of some chips or something, but I had to send her to the store. And then he was there, and that's how they met.
That's a God wink.
Yeah.
I mean, when the moon hits your eye, like a big pizza pie. That's amore. Beautiful. That's a lot of love.
Yeah. So I can sit and tell you lots and lots of stories. But yes, I've had, from my family and my friends and my kids have even been there. They don't really want to work in the family business, but they will help.
They say it, and they're how old? 17 and 22?
Yeah.
So they say that now, but watch what happens. And we all look back. There's a trend going on right now of sitting down with your younger self. What would you tell that person? And then with your future self. Oh, it's got chill. What would you tell that person? So I'm going to ask you that question because we might take this and put it into maybe our socials. Michael, what would you tell your younger and your future self?
My younger self is stay true to yourself, stay on point of what you believe is correct, and your heart will lead you to that destination you're looking for. From an older self, reposo, relax.
Oh, I like that.
Sit back.
Wait, how do you say that again?
Reposo.
Reposo.
You got a little like
I need to know
ruffles
that.
have ridges, ruffles, reposo. You got to do a little roll in there. Relax. Sit back, relax, and enjoy what you've accomplished, and continuously dream of things that are ahead of you. Possibly, if you have the support and you have the people around you, and a great spirit of what the good Lord's blessed us with
Yes.
in this life. I've seen some amazing things, so
Yeah.
I'm very thankful.
I love that. It's almost as if, that was very eloquent, by the way, Michael. It's almost as if he knew I was going to ask that question and he didn't, because sometimes you might think, oh, did you give him the question? No. You can feel that. That's where the passion comes out, and that's where the life lessons have been, and that's
Absolutely.
where the dreams of continuing to go come from.
Yeah.
So, Melissa, Chef Mel, I'll ask you the same question. Younger and future self.
What would I tell my younger self? I would just say, go for it, risk it, just do it. And I would say, trust in yourself.
And
Trust in
before we
yourself.
talk about the future self, that is really one of the messages that I talked about in the description today, which is taking the leap. There's a really beautiful thing that Steve Harvey did after one of his shows, and he talks about taking that leap that a lot of people don't want to do. Why do you think someone says, I can't do it?
Fear.
Yep.
Number
Fear.
one, I actually, one of my bosses in my physical therapy career, he was so just loved the sauce and the salsa, big fan. And he just kept telling me, I had a lot of people that kept telling me, but he really sticks in my mind. You really should take the leap. You really should. And, and here, this is my boss telling me this,
Right.
but he's like, you'll never experience anything like owning your own business.
You get that entrepreneurial fever,
Yeah.
and it just, when it releases and you let it go.
Yeah.
But do you understand how powerful? Here is the difference in life. You had a boss that said, go for it, and believed in you. Do you understand how many people are out there? I've been involved in this, where the bosses do not believe in you and they try to squash your dreams. And if you give them power and you believe them and you don't believe in yourself, the trajectory of your life completely altered.
Well, because it's not about you for them. It's about them, and they cannot see through everything else. Their vision is distorted.
Their own fears block them.
Exactly.
Or there's jealousy, or there's so many things that
people
would
try to tear you down.
And there we go.
Like who do you think you are to do this or whatever? I got plenty of that, but I had so much more support and love, and people that believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself.
Yes. And that is such a powerful
It's so
message. And
powerful.
today, again, we told you we'd have fun, but I'm hoping that there's always this underlying inspirational, motivational message that makes you go, I've been there. And we haven't even had a chance to look at comments. I'm going to go and do that. If any of you are in that position and you're looking back and thinking, yeah, just like Chef Mel, just like Michael, I had a dream back then. But that's the other part of it is it's never too late.
No.
So if you have it right now, I don't care if you are 50, 60, 70 years old. I hope you have many years left in your life. Do what you want with them. Maybe you wanted to open a restaurant forever ago and somehow you get involved in that. I don't know. Are you hiring? Maybe they can be a
Absolutely.
part of Viviano.
Absolutely. We will train.
Exactly. Again, we are going to be with these two beautiful souls and their family and a lot of great food. And I'm hoping you as well, because we're going to be doing a mobile Monica on March 6th. Again, at the Fenton location, Viviano's Italian restaurant, and then Chef Mel's Sauces. Mel is in 200 plus stores now. Look, and the idea back then when she was knocking on doors and wanting to get in, and they were like, no. And then she went to those that supported her, small business supporting small business. Then all of a sudden they were all like, wait, this is good. Let's go ahead and get it into the stores. How proud are you of what you've done?
When I step outside of myself and look in, I'm very proud. I did this as a side gig for many, many years.
Yeah.
I was a single mom for 10 of those years where I was hoofing it all the time, and I wasn't sure I was going to continue with this business because I wasn't sure, do I do this or do I stick with my safe job and my insurance and everything else, And then I was, fortunate and blessed to meet the one for me, and was married in 2020. And my wife, who is amazing, supports me 100%. And because we were allowed to be married, I was able to have health insurance benefits, which allowed me to quit my day job about 2 years ago. And that's when this business has really grown by leaps and bounds.
Again, see, look at this beautiful. I don't know how many times you've gotten chills today. I've got about 10 that have happened since we launched the show this morning. And I hope that you have that. What runs from head to toe of, oh my gosh, they're inspiring me. I want to do this. I want you to get in and enjoy what they are providing for you. So again, Viviano's and Chef Mel's sauces. We're going to talk more about the dream, about where you want to go. Again, we talked about the salsa coming in 26. But I want you to think about 5-10 years from now, which kind of goes back into what would you tell your future self? Where do you want to be in 5 to 10 years? Michael wants to downsize and relax a little bit more.
A little bit. A little easy.
Let the rest of the family take over.
A lot of trucks unloaded back then. My God.
We're going to go back and again look through the history of Viviano's, and then we come forward to where they are now. I also want you to think about this and tell me, I know it's hard because it's kind of like picking your favorite child, what your favorites are. You mentioned some of the favorites of what customers have been ordering, but if it's Michael's favorites, all right? We'll talk about that when we return.
What's up, y'all? Steve Ewing over here, and I'm hanging out with Monica Adams on the Monica Adams Show. It was awesome to be able to come in here, talk about what we do, and really kind of have some positive things to say about our city, about St. Louis, all the really cool things happening here. Such a great environment here, and I love her energy, and I love the energy she puts into telling these stories about the really cool things happening in our city. Thanks, Monica, for having me on the show. This was amazing. I get to talk about all my good stuff, and you get to give them that energy, which I love. So thank you very much.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
Create beautiful gardens and landscaped areas with everything you need at Hoffman Hillerman Nursery and Florist. A great selection of outdoor and indoor plants, gardening items, landscape materials, lawn and garden equipment, and much more.
And I'm super excited to be there, by the way, on March 26th. That is going to be a wonderful time at Hoffman Hillerman's Nursery. We're going to talk about their potting bar. What in the world is that all about? Well, you got to come out and enjoy it. And we're talking about snow today, but that will absolutely get you in the mood for spring and summer and the green thumbs that we all hope to have, or maybe you do have. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll sit down with that and enjoy a really good time. Lots of mobile Monicas coming up. Again, March 6th with our friends who we're visiting with today. We will be at Viviano's, and we're going to be able to experience what I'm now smelling. Oh my gosh, it smells. I wish you had scratch and sniff television because it's amazing right now. Michael Viviano and Chef Mel's sauces. It's going to be a wonderful time, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at the Viviano's location again in Fenton Plaza. So put it on the calendar like my friend Dot and Ron have. Michael, Ron is gushing over you, by the way. He loves you.
Love that guy.
The two of them will definitely be there, they said, on March 6th. How about you? Make sure to make plans right now. Look at your calendar, and as you're at home, put that in. Ron says, Michael Viviano is not only a great person, but one of the best in the business.
Wow. Okay. Thank you,
Isn't
Ron.
that sweet?
Love you,
and
man.
Michelle, by the way,
You're
who
sweet.
said, Mel's sauces are amazing. Ever since I met her, I am hooked. Julie Fabian says, we live directly behind the Chesterfield location, and we absolutely love it.
Very good.
And then I went over to Instagram real quick. And by the way, shout out, I don't know if he's still on, but we were talking about mentors. Paul Acquire joined, and he was one of the mentors. You just saw my fashion consulting. He's the one that got me into it, by the way. We saw Walter. Do you know this Walter?
Walter, yes.
Yes. He said, hey, Michael, his stuff is nice.
Nice and nice, Italiano. Let's see.
Kathy Anselmo says, delicious at Viviano's. So, yeah, this is where there's about, 50 of you live right now, but this is what we always say.
Fun.
Share, like, follow multiple platforms. So I'm trying to jump over as many as I can, but we also want you to do a hashtag replay if you watch this a little bit later and ask any questions that you want. I'll make sure that Mel and Michael see those. More importantly, come out and support them. We're going to have a fantastic time. Yeah. So, all right, you had a little time to think about this.
Yes.
So I'm going to go first to Mel because we didn't get a chance for you to tell your future self. What would you tell your future self?
Just keep enjoying the journey until it's time. And that time might be to retire. That time might be to let somebody else take over the business. That time might be, to just enjoy and look back and relax a little bit. Although I say that, and I'll probably find something else to do, but that's okay because I love the thoughts of volunteering and helping the community, and I've always wanted to be able to do that. So if I could, at some point, make it big like they talk about.
You're hang on a second. Let's just go here. She is currently sold in about 200 stores and growing. And by the way, if you have a store, maybe you have a cute little boutique and you would like to have her sauces in your store, they will sell really well, by the way.
Absolutely.
How would they get in touch with you to be able to do that?
Well, they can just
go to the website.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they can send me an email directly from there, and then I can send them to, the distributor.
There you go. ChefMelSauces.com. So if you would like to say, hey, I would like to have this in my store, let's keep that growing. She does a lot of trade shows and events in St. Louis. And you competed, again, you're talking about, I want to make it big. Hello. You competed in the World Food Championships in Indianapolis in the fall of last year. Tell me more about that.
Well, I heard about this red sauce challenge, and it was on the Hill. Well, what better way to try to get some publicity for your sauce? I thought, well, I'll go ahead and enter the contest. And I ended up winning, which I did not expect at all. And
you buried the lead, Mel.
In my mother and my daughter were there, and my mother was just like, I thought she was going to pass out. I mean, she was just elated. I mean, I only wish my grandmother was there, but she's watching from above.
She was there.
And so it was.
And you say Nana, right?
Yes, or Nana or grandmother.
Nana's proper, but in St. Louis, it's Nana.
It's Nana.
It's always been Nana.
And that's what my mom is to my kids.
Nana.
She's Nana. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I won the contest, which then you get the golden ticket, and met so many great people. And Tim is one of them. Tim and Jake, they just got me through this whole thing, preparing. And I went to this World Food Championships, and I brought my mom and got her little coat made that says Nana on it. So she was my sous chef, and we went and competed, and we ended up entering. It was the pasta category, so it was the
what did you make?
The noodle category. We ended up trying to represent St. Louis in a big way, so we did a. I don't know if you can see in my hands, but a very large toasted ravioli.
Grande.
But I handmade it, so the dough, the meat, the filling, everything was handmade, breaded, and then we served it on a Italian flag, a pesto, an Alfredo, and then my sauce. So I made everything from scratch, all in an hour and 20 minutes, and then presented. We did not go to the final table, but we did place 13th. So that's pretty big deal.
That's really big deal.
We're talking about the world, folks.
Yes.
Again, she did her own cooking show, just so many things. And I love the fact that she said she was able to quit her day job in 23 and now doing this full time for 2 years now. That's when you believe, that's when you have, again, the belief around you. Michael, same thing. Again, we're talking about 21 years in Fenton.
It's amazing.
But it's this beautiful history of your family and having the gumption to say, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to have the support around me, your wife, your sister-in-law,
many
who
good
I
friends.
love already.
Oh, my gosh. Many good friends supporting us, sitting around the table when we were first really considering it. what does it smell like? What does it look like? What do you, what is your position? What are you doing? Owner, operator, of course, I'm going to be there. All of that.
Well, and I asked going into the break, okay, so you've had a little time. If we're coming and people have never been there before and they're going to come on March 6th and say, okay, oh my gosh, it smells great in here, looks beautiful in here, this is a lot of fun. What should I get? What are Michael's favorites?
Michael's favorites. Well, if we go with sandwich, it's going to be the Viviano special.
Yes.
I tell people, I said, we make it like a lot of the restaurants. I won't say a name. We make it like a lot of restaurants, sandwich shops in St. Louis. We just make it better. And then we use our great sauces and all that fun stuff for pizza and our salad dressing. My wife, she never had artichokes until we were married. And she was like, I put the artichokes in the hearts of palm. She grew up with chicken and dumplings,
Okay.
Sorry, babe. Hopefully that's okay. It was just, that passion to make it that St. Louis style. And, serving so many restaurants in St. Louis is like, okay, I could put this together. I could do this and find out the right little flavor that I like and see if everybody else likes it.
Yeah.
And then when we did little gatherings and parties and so forth, brought a lot of food, and people were like, oh, well, why don't you guys open a restaurant? I want to do that. I'm like, oh my God, I've been working on the Hill forever. Almost 20 years I was there. Now I've been in business over here 21 years. I'm like, oh my God, I was really still going here. But, so tortellini, pasta and broccoli, St. Louis to St. Louis. I love the puttanesca sauce, the spicy red sauce, of course, adding the shrimp. So making a diavolo, whatever you want to do. So many fun things.
What are you making there?
That's a pork tenderloin.
Oh my goodness.
And
look at how it cuts. It's so
sweet
juicy.
reduction red wine and just beautiful. It's one of those fun ones. It's a little time consuming, but
look, you literally just took the words out of my mouth. I was just going to say, it's a lot of work. So when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work, right? You get up. I mean, we get up super early. You get up super early to prep and get all this stuff ready.
Here's
at the end of the day, right? Don't you just feel like such an amazing sense of accomplishment because you look out at all of the people at your restaurant,
absolutely,
buying and you're like, okay, that's why I do it.
This is the passion that's instilled in us. If I go to the good Lord's blessed us so much in what we've been doing in our lives. And I'm going to just say it, that if it wasn't for God doing all that he does in my life and our lives and watching us grow, helping us grow, and us being willing to listen, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 mouth. So,
Michael, tell me if I'm right. That just made you emotional, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Our faith. Mm-hmm. We always end every show with a devotional, which we're not doing yet. By the way, we're going to try some food and everything. But
it's part of the family.
I don't know. And again, we never preach this, but I always say in life, if you feel lost, and sometimes if I start to talk about my faith and spirituality and the journey and the walk, and you're not ready for it, it's okay. Because I swear I know when it's right for you that you'll come back and you'll hear and you'll say, I feel lost. I feel like I'm in a dark place. You'll know. If you don't have that in your life, I really don't know what you lean on.
It's sad that for so many people that are, and that subconscious stuff, and we can get all, you get buried in that subconscious and all those, I can't do it. This is not possible. Everybody told me I'm not good enough. Baloney. More to them. Whatever. I don't believe it. I never believed it. I did not want to give into that negative vibe ever. I mean, it does happen. Negative happens.
But we don't stay there.
We don't stay there.
And you have the power to get out of it.
Yeah. We got to persevere. We were determined.
Yeah. I have so many chills from you two. I love this show.
So many people think that they can't do it, but they don't even realize that they have the power to get themselves out of it.
And maybe even if at some point it's happened to you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or right now, and you literally have been broken down and ripped down, and people have said, you're no good, you're this, you're that, and you had all this belief. Today, let's break through those chains. Right. Let's say and set you free that today's your day to have a rebirth and a reawakening.
Nobody can do it but you.
Yes. Right. If you trust in just yourself, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be an amazing experience. But when you know you have that spiritual journey ahead of you with the good Lord that's blessed us for so much, and there's so much history, and I can get into a whole kind of stuff about, he's here. He's here, and he lives within me, and he knows he's blessed me. He knows he's blessed our families. And all the things that we went through adoption, going to Peru, going to Guatemala, adopting children, opening up the business, all these things that everybody say, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's too scary. Too scary. Fear? Why let fear take over my life when he said 365 times in the Bible, it says, fear not.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Fear's a liar.
Fear's a liar.
Yep, absolutely.
I got you.
I was just going to say, I got you. I will carry you. I love that. We talked about this with the pastor a couple of weeks ago, Pastor David Hawkins, who, by the way, I watched
Love
his
David
service.
Hawkins.
Oh, I love
David.
that. I watched his service on Sunday. I cannot wait. Will you go with me to Collinsville to his
Love
church?
to, yeah.
Because then we're going to go to brunch afterwards.
Okay.
There's always food.
Because he visits
God and
over
food.
at the crossings.
Collinsville. Well,
Hey.
yes, that's where I met him. So he was at the crossing in Fenton, and I just sat there in awe. Do you know this man, by the way?
Oh.
He's
Oh, you
dynamic.
need to.
I need to.
He was a guest pastor, and I sat there and went, "Who is this? He
Yeah.
is on fire for
Yeah.
God, right? And just life." And then I said, "Okay, we're coming over to Collinsville." So, by the way, shout out Pastor Hawkins. I watched
David.
your service at 9:30. They had to cancel because the unexpected snow that came in early, and so he canceled the 8:00 service. But yes, God, faith, family, all these things. I'm telling you, if you put that back in your life, watch how your life changes. Okay, is that oregano I see on the table, or is that pepper?
There is some different style paper. I have cracked black pepper. I have the coarse black pepper, just showing different things for rubs and so forth like that. If we're getting the garlic, there's a garlic butter and there's a garlic sprinkle for garlic breads and stuff like that. Just an assortment of spices that we have in a retail area. So,
What's your biggest seller of what you have beyond your
garlic
food?
pepper.
Garlic pepper.
Garlic pepper, the biggest one for steaks and whatever else, and people, chicken, whatever it might be. Tiramisu, crazy. If we go right into desserts, I'm going to talk about that. I mean, don't get me started.
So tiramisu would be your biggest,
For
not
dessert
a cannoli.
and cannolis. I mean, I saw right before Valentine's. My gosh, we sold, and we get 9 slices out of a pan. We sold 6 pans in 2 days.
Wow.
Normally, it's not like that.
Right.
The limoncello tiramisu is a new amazing product we got going, and Chef Elise at our store does that, and she's just amazing. And I brought simple antipasto right here, salami, fontanella, olives. We're going
There's
old
nothing
school
simple.
on
I'm
that.
telling you right now. What woman and man do not like the simplicity? Look, charcuterie boards are my favorite thing in life.
We can't say charcuterie in our family. That's French. We got to say antipasto. This guy said on
But
TikTok,
both.
he goes, "Don't you dare say that word in my house."
They say
I died
charcuterie
laughing.
is just Lunchables for adults.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. And for women who love to have wine together, it's our little Lunchable.
It's perfect.
It is. Okay, so I have to try the meatball, even though my mom told me never to eat and talk on air. So you're going to have to talk about what I'm trying here.
You get it.
Okay? You speak for me while I taste.
So this is meatballs, just
Not just.
Your homemade meatballs.
everything. It's the meatballs just soaked in sauce.
no,
mean,
there's
just
meatballs
delicioso.
soaked in sauce.
yes,
not
yes.
just.
You've got to cook it in the sauce and just kind of let it simmer, keep it warm, and it just soaks in all of the flavor. This is something that I've been doing more of and serving more at like the trade shows and the big stuff. And talking about, you kind of hit on it earlier, but just knowing your passion and knowing that you're doing the right thing. Like when I'm doing a trade show and people are just like, wow,
Yeah.
that's all I need. That's all I need.
That's
you know
perfect.
what that's
That's
like?
the push.
Did you see
Yeah.
me?
That's
I
the
just
push
looked at
forward.
so Zach's in the background directing, and he just gave a big thumbs up.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead and shout it. It's fantastic, isn't it? Yes.
Manja.
Yeah, okay.
This is when I tell people. I said, like Randy. It was Randy. Walter said on there. It's not just nice.
It's a nice,
It's
It's nice and nice. It's got to be nice and nice. It's not delicious. It's delicioso.
That's
Come
right,
on.
right.
Put the
You
whole
got to put
package
that
together.
Italian spin
It's got
on
a little
it.
spin on there.
Yeah.
Bring it together.
You always need napkins.
Yeah.
Right? No. I'm saying
Oh, okay,
whenever
yeah.
you're eating Italian food, make
Sure.
sure you have that. I did, by the way. We'll visit on that. We'll take a break. Are you two okay beyond 8 o'clock?
Great.
And all of you as well. We've got 50 something of you on right now. You're enjoying. Feel free to ask any questions that you want to. But more importantly, come on March 6th. We're going to have a lot of fun with you. We're going to, I'm sure, do some trivia, some giveaways, some prizes. We're just going to enjoy. I want family. Let's bring family together. Let's break bread together. Let's have some meatballs together.
Spicy.
Right? And then find what you love on the menu and then continue to come back and share this show, by the way. Like, share, follow, so that more and more people can find out, because some of you might say, I've never been to Viviano's. What? And you've never had Chef Mel sauces. I hope you have. And now when you see on the shelf, you keep buying and buying and buying. So when we come back, I'm going to tell you about my trip to Italy. I can't believe I waited my entire life. Now I want to go every month.
Yes.
I was told that's what would happen. So more about taking you to Italy without even leaving the snowy St. Louis when we return. This is my wonderful role model, one of my best friends.
She's, oh my gosh, you got a long life. You could probably live to be 130 and stuff. And I said, oh God, I hope not.
It's getting hot in here. Don't take off all your clothes.
I'm not going to take off my clothes. On the radio tape, going to
Kansas City, Kansas City, here I come. We're gonna spank. We're gonna speak. We're not gonna spank anybody. We're gonna speak about knowing your value, and then I'm gonna.
I'm going to spank them.
If you don't know your value and you don't grab hold of how important you are, I'm gonna spank you. Folks, you never know what you're gonna get with her. Oh, look at all that yumminess. That is what you can have in person on March 6th, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. We will be with you, and I want you to be there as well. A lot of good food. It smells amazing here. Those meatballs were incredible, by the way. Absolutely amazing. We're talking about Viviano's in Fenton and Chesterfield, and think about their catering, their banquet rooms, and so much for you. Michael Viviano, and then Chef Mel's sauces. Again, Chef Mel in with us. Watch her segments on her website. You can see all those series that she did. Eat This TV. There we go. You can see it on the screen. Some comments coming in, and this is what I love. I always love introducing people to places they've never been to. So, Michael, Tammy said, she's never been to your place, and I'm going to have to try this. I didn't know about it. Julie says, my favorite. Michelle said the pizza parm you sell is so good. I also saw something about the mushroom brie soup is astounding.
Delicious.
Right, delicioso.
Delicioso.
So for all of you that haven't before, okay, Yaro, who's watching right now, just gave you a fire symbol.
Okay, all right.
Again, there's so much, but this is why we tell you to come back. Maybe you grab something for your friends or your family and you order ahead. Do that. And then also come back, because we talked about different parts of their lunch menu, your dinner menu. My husband and I were there, just a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, have I not ever been here for dinner? I guess it's always been lunch and going to your deli. Right. But the dinner menu blew me away. You have good pizza, by the way.
Good pizza, good sauce on there. Might have to maybe introduce Chef Mel's and do a specialty night on that. That's what I was thinking, actually.
Can we do that night?
Absolutely.
Because I was just going to say, people are going to say, okay, what's going to be special about Thursday, March 6th? Well, we're going to do something unique.
And we do hand-tossed pizza dough, or we can use the thin crust, and we can jazz it up. Yeah. You got a few heart-shaped left from Valentine's.
Because we love Look at all those pizzas. Food, you know? What's your favorite pizza?
Me? Oh, gosh. I love a lot of veggies.
Look at you being healthy.
Yeah.
Yara just said we're making you. I told you we'd make you hungry.
I might do veggies, but I got to put on some tzatziki.
Yeah, little tzatziki, I'll take all that. I do love. I actually been diving into doing the burrata and the prosciutto, roasted red peppers, balsamic vinaigrette on there, or balsamic glaze, and just doing a garlic brush on there with no red sauce.
Well, so this is one of the things I'm going to ask you not to do, because I told you we're going to wrap up with my little trip to Italy, and my husband, if he's watching right now, will say thank you for telling Michael that. Before we do it, they also have Parmesan crusted medallions on their menu. They have chicken bodega. They have shrimp siciliano. Again, so much. And then the store's got that old world market charm, offering online shopping. Again, catering, so many standouts. The salad alone is to die for, and I love your Italian wedding soup.
Wedding soup's always tops, you know that.
You don't have that every day, do you?
We had it off the menu, but it looks like it's slowly coming back.
Bring it back.
Yeah, people want it back, and it's like, okay. So I always have it fresh frozen, so people could take home also. So in the retail, they could do that.
I didn't know. Okay, so let's see. Mickey just said, we love Viviano's. Stephanie said, thank you all. I love cannolis. Never been. I'm going to try it now. Chef Mel, best name. My dad's name was Mel. Okay, fantastic. Again, keep the comments coming in once we wrap the show up, and you want to ask any questions or ask any comments, etc. Here's what's funny. I told both Mel and Michael that we just went to Italy. We went to more of the Barolo region. So I was telling my true Italian friends where I was going, and they said, Piedmont. Oh, you mean Piemonte?
Yeah,
And
Piemonte.
I'm like, it says Piedmont. So
Yeah.
Elba, etc. Everywhere we were in that region was raw meat. Okay, and when my husband had enough of trying raw meat, we went to, he goes, I just want a pizza. We went to the final place. We were at a truffle festival. We broke away from the festival, went to this incredible Italian restaurant. I just want a pizza and some good wine. He orders a Sazizza pizza, and guess what?
It's raw.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Wow. He was like, look, these people gave us the spoken word. Don't they how to turn the oven on and make some
I've heard of
cooked
Italian
meat?
sushi and it's not prosciutto and things like that rolled together.
No.
But
No.
no. Okay.
It looked like a raw hamburger on the pizza,
Oh, wow.
and he was so done with it. My
Yeah.
pizza, by the way, was phenomenal. Anyway, so do us a favor on Thursday, March 6th. No raw meat.
No, God, no. No, I don't think that was
Make
about to be
that
very happy with us about that. You know?
Yeah.
Lord.
We cook those meatballs.
We
Yeah.
cook those meatballs. Look, I hope you have enjoyed today's show. We're going to wrap up for you and give you all the information that you need to know to follow both of these wonderful human beings. And I hope that they have inspired you to lift you up, to do a side hustle, take that side hustle and make it the main thing. Walk away 2 years ago like Mel did and said, I've got this. And you continue to grow. You want to show your sign?
Oh. The Red Sauce Challenge. 2024 champion. I'm telling you. My aunt said once that my grandmother, with me creating this sauce and getting it in on the hill and Viviano's would be bigger to her than me being the president of the United States.
Oh,
So there
I
you
love
go.
that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so go to Viviano's online, go to Chef Mel's website online, follow them on social media because they'll be posting pictures and posting their sauces. And again, just tempting your taste buds. And then come on out with us on March 6th. Now, start spreading the word to your family, your friends. 4 to 5:30 will be the live broadcast. We would love to talk to you. So I want you to invite some of your past customers that have been coming and supporting you for 21 years,
We're
for
gonna make some
17
noise.
years. Tell them to come out with
Yeah.
us. It's
We're
going to
going
be
to
a
make
big
a
party.
lot of noise. It's gonna
Yeah,
be a good lot of
absolutely.
noise.
If you don't like parties, then you might not want to be there. If
Yeah.
you
There
don't,
might be some
people.
dancing. I don't know.
no, there
Yeah,
might
for
there
sure.
will be, guaranteed. Everybody,
Anybody
again,
with a mandolino can come on out. Bring a
Yes,
little
yes.
music.
Let's have some music. Let's have some good food. Let's have some good wine. Let's have some great conversation, and let's support each and every one of you. Thank you both so much.
Thank you for
Total
having
pleasure.
Be
us.
safe, please, driving back. All of you, if
Absolutely.
you don't have to go out, again, be careful on the roadways. If you do, and give the crews the space that they need to clear everything off. Stay warm. It's going to be bitterly cold. Take care of yourself. Lift each other up. And remember to believe in yourself the way we all have and do the one thing that we always ask, and that is to be kind. God bless you all.
God bless.